Hola, bienvenidos a todos a mi canal, Spanish Blueprints. My name is Joshua, and this channel is dedicated to guiding you during your Spanish learning journey. And in this video, I want to share with you how you can start to learn and comprehend books in Spanish. This is a very valuable resource for you to use on top of your digital resources. And make sure you check out my video on the top 10 Spanish resources. Now, this is a very valuable skill as a Spanish student. Not only can it increase your writing and reading skills, but can also increase your speaking and your listening skills as well. Now, the best method that you can use to be able to accomplish this is by using a book review. If you find value in this video and the other ones that I'm making, please like this video. The reason why you need a really good strategy to be able to read and comprehend a book in Spanish is because of how complex a book can be. You're not just reading a whole bunch of unconnected words that don't have meaning, but they actually have a ton of meaning. And the author or authors are trying to transmit a particular message using words. And the way that an author can transmit a lot of meaning and details using just words alone is by using the 5 human senses of sight, smell, hearing, touch, and taste. Additionally, the author also wants you to be able to understand the overall message of the story. What is the plot? And then also having an understanding of the different characters that they have placed within a book. What are their personalities like? What is their importance? And then you're also going to have a lot of details about different locations, dates, and things like that. So as you can see, reading is pretty taxing on the brain. It does take a lot of energy and focus, and it's a lot for your brain to simplify. Then on top of all of that, as a Spanish student, you have to be able to translate between your native tongue and Spanish at the same time while you're trying to comprehend all that information that's going on within that book. And that's why you need a very simple and effective method to be able to simplify and summarize and organize all the information that's going on within a book, which is why I really recommend using a book review approach. First things first, when I say a book review, I'm not talking about something that's like college level where you have to write 20 some pages and you're going to be researching for like hours upon hours. No, this is nothing like that. This is going to be as simple as possible that you can do before, during, and after reading the book that you're reading. And it's also just a very good process for your brain that's able to comprehend and digest a story within a book. Because when I was reading La Mala Hora, it took me about 100 pages just to start to understand what was going on and what was the importance of it all. And the main reason why this happened is because I did not use a book review method. I just came into the book completely blind and I didn't analyze anything whatsoever. So the first thing we're going to do in the book review is just look at the book cover, la portada, of the book. So for example, for La Mala Hora, I have, there's an I here, there's the title, and then there's the author's name, and there's also something here that says Premio Nobel de Literatura, and that just means that this got the Nobel Prize in literature, so that could tell some information as well. So this is just a good way just to kind of start imagining, what this book could be about, just by looking at the front page. Now we're going to go to the back of the book. So this contains a lot of different information, maybe it won't. In this case, La Mala Hora, it actually summarizes like all of the information and details that I think are very important within the story itself. So in this case, it's actually like one of those movie trailers that you would see on TV or on the internet that reveals everything. So some of them might be very ambiguous and some of them are going to be very clear about what the book is about. And then the next thing you want to start doing is really start paying attention to the characters within the story. Start doing a character analysis. So you can start doing that by looking just at the first few pages, who's appearing within the first few pages, because that might set the tone for the rest of the book, or it might not. It just depends. So you're able to get a lot of information about their personalities, their importance in the story. You could actually write down specific quotes that each character is saying that is important to you or you think that's important to the story. Then you can also try to figure out if the characters within the book are all connected. Like in La Mala Hora, all of the characters within the book are technically in one town, in un pueblo. But a lot of the conversations that are happening in between the characters are completely disconnected, but they still connect to the overall story. Another thing that you should note is that you might not understand the importance of a character to the plot in the first 50 pages or in the first 20 pages, just for you to have an overall idea of their importance. One thing you can do is highlight, underline, or write down the character's name and different details about them so you can have a record of these characters. Now, the next thing I want you to pay attention to is the particular writing style of the author. That's extremely important to be able to comprehend a book. You're not thinking that you're reading a science fiction book when it's actually a nonfiction. Then your brain's gonna be struggling like, what's going on? This doesn't make any sense. This book is definitely not a science fiction book. In el caso de La Mala Hora, so this book is written in third person. So it's not someone who's really having conversations, it's someone who's just observing them from the outside. So that also makes it a lot easier to understand, because I was trying to figure out like, what is the importance of the narrator? Like, why is this person here? Why is this person listening to this conversation? So the writing style within this book is very interesting because a lot of the conversations aren't connected, as I was saying, because the author wrote it in a way where there's a discussion between two different people within this section, and in the next section there's no transition whatsoever. It's just like, all right, there's two new people that you never met before, so they're being introduced for the first time, and they're having a conversation, like a deep conversation about something that you have no idea what it's about. Now, with all the information that you have thus far, you can really start to combine all of it to give you a good idea of what the overall plot of the story is. What is the summary that you can come up with? What are the main points that the author is trying to get you to understand? This is going to be very helpful for you to kind of problem solve within your head to be able to figure that out. So this can be quite difficult because many books are very long and there's a ton of information that you have to dig through. But the good thing is now you have this book review format to be able to give you a ton of information to pull everything together and to start making sense of what's going on now. And with this step, you're really just trying to figure out what is the main purpose of writing this book for the author. What do they want me to understand? How should I feel? What should I support? What should I not support? And of course, when it comes to plots of stories, you might not understand everything that the author was trying to get across. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's just like any other movie or TV show or even a song, you might just not know. A good example of this would be the ending of Lost. That is a TV show that left a lot of people pretty frustrated and confused, like me, because it didn't make any sense the last episode, at least in my opinion. And I'll say the same thing with La Mala Hora. I read other reviews. There's a lot of other Latinos, like native Spanish speakers, who did not understand the overall book and its importance, but also the ending of the book. They felt like they needed more information to be able to understand more the purpose of writing this book for this particular author. Now, the last thing that you should do within a book review is to give your opinion and give your recommendation. Now, this just gives you freedom to think outside of the box and be creative and be able to develop your own theories, your own explanations for why different things happen within the book. And then also be able to express, how you felt, because even though you are reading to study Spanish, this has to be fun and it has to be interactive. So it's really fun to be able to give your recommendation to someone, then also be able to explain what are your opinions about the book. What were your favorite parts? What are the different characters that you liked? Which ones did you not like? Did the book make sense? Was it very complex to read? And so on and so forth. Don't forget, you don't have to even do all of these things. You could just do one. It all depends on what your goals are when you are reading that particular book in Spanish. So in my case, when I was reading La Mala Hora, I was really trying to understand the details of the book and the story. So I did a lot of character analysis. I wanted to understand what was the importance of each character because there were so many in the book. And I was also really trying to figure out what was the purpose of this book because I did not understand. So I also just wrote down a whole bunch of quotes that I thought were very important in regards to the text. All right, that is all I have for you. I hope that you feel more prepared to start reading books in Spanish and you won't shy away from them. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, share with all your Spanish learning friends, and I'll see you in the next video.